All right. Everyone, welcome back to Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2024. We are currently kind of struggling through our first conference season or conference portion of our first season. Won some and lost some in the conference so far, and not going to finish the conference games today because there's so many of them, but we'll play 5 or 6 or 7 depending on how things go. We'll get that established first actually and see where we're going to today. But we're at 11-7, which is, you know, not terribly great for a Kentucky team, especially. But we're hoping that things get better, and I think next season will be better. But we're not to next season yet. See, there are 11 games left, so let's do through the Auburn game today, and then we'll leave off as we're about to play Georgia, and then next time we will finish up the end of the conference games and see if we are in the tournament. Well, actually, I take that back. The next video we'll be finishing our conference schedule, and then we'll be setting up to see where we are in the conference tournament. And then I'm actually going to try to play the games in the conference tournament rather than simming them because I think the conference tournaments are important, especially if it looks like you might not make it to the tournament. So, but anyway, just for today's video, we're not going to be playing any games. We'll be simulating the current game we have here against the Mississippi State Bulldogs down through the Auburn Tigers game, and we'll stop right before we play Georgia on February 16th. So that is where we are and what we'll be doing today. And we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, I say we just jump into it. We have no injuries, so no reason to change anything there. In terms of strategy, we've looked at the strategy screen multiple times. It's set up differently than the pro basketball side of things. Um, the one thing we could do in terms of strategy, I just started doing this on the video I made with the pro basketball side of things. We could look at the other team to see what kind of free throw shooting team they are and then adjust our defensive intensity based off of that, because if they're a really good free throw shooting team, you want to not foul them as much because if they go to the line, it'll be money. But if they're a poor free throw shooting team, you can play really hard defense and not have to worry about that. Play really aggressive defense. So let's check out Mississippi State and see where they are from the free throw line. Not that it helped out much changing things up on the pro basketball side of things. We're doing awful right now. They're kind of middle of the pack in free throw shooting, so very mediocre from free throw shooting. So I don't know we want to change much of anything. We'll just check our because right now we're pretty high up on the intensity, so I'm actually going to turn it down just a little bit because they're not terrible from the free throw line, but they're also not great. So this is the average right here. So these are extended out above the average a little bit. So yeah, we'll keep those right there on this game. And as far as pace goes, where is our assist to turnover numbers? We're actually a pretty poor team in terms of assists, turnovers. Hmm. You know what? We'll just adjust that accordingly. We'll leave it as it is for this first game, and then we'll kind of bump the pace up and down after we see how things are going. Because if you're not turning the ball over a lot, but you also have low assist numbers, it's my thinking that you could increase the pace as long as you have good guard play, and that would uh, help to score more baskets and have more assists. But if you're turning the ball over a lot, you don't want to be playing at a crazy pace because you'll turn the ball over even more. So we'll adjust accordingly on that. We'll go ahead and play this first game. Tennessee loses to South Carolina. Whew, okay. I was holding my breath on that one for some reason. I was really nervous we'd lose, but we won. So we're now 4-4 in conference play. Don't know that win helps us out a ton. They're very mediocre, and it was a home game, so it doesn't help us out a ton, unfortunately. But I mean, it's better than losing it. Uh, we'll check and see. Yeah, that's just a quad 4 win, so I mean, it's not like losing it would have been awful, but we didn't lose, we won. But winning doesn't help a ton, so we will continue on. At least we've had no injuries, and I'm very happy with that. It would seem to me the injury system is different on this game than the pro basketball side. I mean, granted, you do play more games in the NBA, so I think it would make more sense that you would see more injuries on the NBA side of things. But we've had basically no injuries, or very, very few. So, yeah, in terms of health, we've been great. I know in college athletics currently, the baseball World Series is being played, and Kentucky is actually competing. They're actually about to play. I didn't realize it was that late in the day already. It's almost 11 o'clock, so they're about to play Florida. And if they win, then they can continue on. I think they'll play Texas A&M, who they lost to a couple of nights ago. If they can beat Florida, if they lose to Florida, they're out. So, you know, cheering them on in spirit. I don't have cable, so because I'm cheap, so I won't be watching. But I'm hoping that they win. We have a few emails, looks like. Yeah, we play Ole Miss in the next game, and they're pretty good. So I don't know how I feel about that game. The top 30 Norton candidates have been announced, and we don't have any players uh, in the running. So you know what? That is what it is. Does it concern us if no one's in it? So there you go. Uh, we'll check out Mississippi and see if I did not check out the box score to that last win, but you know what we'll do next time. We're too far out to go back. I forget which day it was on anyway. We'll play Ole Miss next, and if we win, we'll check it out. But we will check out to see where Mississippi is in terms of free throw shooting. They're a pretty poor free throw shooting team, so we're definitely going to bump up our defensive intensity and our rebounding intensity on these guys. Heck, we'll even bump up the full court defense a little bit. Actually, maybe not. I don't want to wear my guys out, so we'll run it like this and see how things go. We still have no injuries, so that's good. Yeah, let's go ahead and play this game. See how things go. I don't really expect to win this game. Mississippi is good, and it's on their court. So we're very we're an SEC team, but we're a very mediocre SEC team, as you can see on the side. So I'm kind of thinking home games will probably win, especially against poor teams. Away games, unless it's a poor team, will probably lose. Wow, we lost pretty badly, unfortunately. I do want to check and see our assist to turnover ratio because I may adjust the pace accordingly based off what that looks like. So we'll go back and look at this. Yeah, that's not good. 14 turnovers, 15 turnovers, 14 assists, which they turned the ball over more too. But you know, in this case, it doesn't matter about them; it's about us in terms of pace anyway. So I'm actually going to slow things down a little bit. We also lost the rebounding battle despite having our rebounding intensity turned up, so maybe we should have turned up even further. And they went to the line and they actually didn't shoot too terribly. We did foul them a lot, so that it works out that we fouled them a lot, but it doesn't work out that they actually ended up shooting better free throw percentage than we did, despite them being a poor free throw shooting team. So a few things backfired on us there, but that'll happen sometimes. So what we will do, let's turn our pace back down to normal. Let's leave everything else the way it is for right now. We'll see what the next team plays like before we make any more decisions on anything else. And no games on this day, so we'll go ahead and keep playing. The baseball game against Florida should be starting in any second. I got the live stats pulled up, but I can't really confirm yet that play is actually started. Okay, man, we play Tennessee next. They're really good. But we'll do what we can here. We'll check Tennessee out. I think Tennessee's a really good defensive team. Looks like they held their opponents to their seventh and holding good points to scoring or limited scoring. They're actually not a good free throw shooting team. 3-pointers, they're very mediocre. But you know what? That means we can roughhouse with them. So we're going to leave our pace middle of the field. I just clicked the wrong thing. Let's go here. We're also not a good free throw shooting team, by the way. But that means we can really play defense on these guys. So we will. I'm gonna keep full core defense as it is. A little bit at a risk of running our guys down, but I do want to play rough if we can. All right, let's play. Let's see what happens. Hey, we won by 15, man, against a great Tennessee team. That is awesome. Okay, that definitely helps. That should definitely help our net score. That is awesome. Okay. So Antonio Brooks had 19 points. Ford had 10 off the bench. Davenport with 12. Allen with 15. Uh, we shot 50% from the field, which is really good. About 40% from three, which is okay. Did not shoot well from the free throw line. Uh, we didn't turn the ball over that badly. We had adjusting our pace helped. Turnovers are down. Assist numbers are up. We won the rebounding battle. So yeah, made some good adjustments there, and we won. Great win. Let's see where that ranks on the win chart. Should be should be a quad one win. It is. So we have two quad one wins now. So that should definitely help out. And we'll move along and see how things go. Probably going to leave the pace where it is, right in the middle. And we'll adjust defensive intensity and rebounding intensity depending on who we're playing against. Yeah, it looks like the game has officially started between Kentucky and Florida. And obviously, I'm hoping Kentucky comes out with a win there. And we're at the end of the next week, so we can check our net ranking really quick and see if we've moved up. We should have moved up. Yeah, we're 81 now in the net. So we've gradually moved up the net since we started today, playing LSU next, which would be another good win for us if we could pull it off. Let's check out LSU and see. Yeah, they're also a poor free throw shooting team. So we can afford to keep our pace what it was. It worked out well for us last time. We can afford to have our defense and rebounding turned up because they're not a good free throw shooting team. So yeah, we're gonna keep things as they are and see how things go. Let's go ahead and play. Also, we're in February now, so we can check and see if we're on the bubble watch, which could be. Or probably just underneath the bubble if I had to guess. Being ranked 80th, you're just underneath the Tennessee's beat again. Actually hurts us a little bit. Man, okay. Let's look and see what went wrong. Because we only scored 52 points, which is pretty bad. We did win the rebounding battle. That is good. We turned the ball over more times than we made assists, but so did they. But I don't want to turn the offensive pace down too much. I mean, you also run the risk of not scoring very often when you do that, and we only score 52 points as it is, so I'm going to keep things as they are. So I don't know what more we could have done. We shot pretty poorly, both from the field and from three and from the line. It's probably the big difference there. They actually really, despite being a poor free throw shooting team most of the time, they knocked down their free throws this time, unfortunately. So that stinks. All right, on to the next game. Man, North Carolina is killing it. Villanova's still number one. Kansas State beat Kansas, so it would have been a good game, I bet. Baylor barely pulls off the win. In both of the series I'm doing, we're playing through a season where things aren't looking all that great, and I can't wait till next season. But we'll get there. We'll get there in time. We play Alabama. Let's check and see if we can make any adjustments. They're kind of mediocre from the free throw line, so I don't want to turn things down too much, but we'll turn things down a little bit. Okay, we'll try that right there. We'll check and make sure. Still have no injuries. We do not. All right, let's go ahead and play against Alabama. See if we can pull off a win. Florida's still holding strong. South Carolina playing well. Okay, come out with an 11-point victory. Probably not a win that helps us out a whole lot, but certainly doesn't hurt. Our 14th win of the season. And we do have an injured player, so we'll see who that is. Antonio Brooks, again, player of the game. Calhoun with 12 off the bench. Allen with 14. And yeah, that's how the stats look. Davenport was scoreless. Bush with only 2 points. So looks like we're having a couple players still struggling. But Allen and Brooks played well enough, and Calhoun off the bench, so that we picked up the win. And we really won the rebounding battle big time. Yeah, they shot terribly from the free throw line, so it helped that we still had a little bit of that intensity thrown out there, and that's what helped us win ultimately. I think if we'd left it where it was, we probably would have won in a blowout, but you just don't know. You have to make decisions based off what the numbers are going in. I mean, we do have one injured player, so I'm wondering who is injured. Blair, who gets it? Let's look at Blair real quick. 6 points, 3 rebounds a game. It's pretty, he contributes. Averages 15 minutes a game. Started a couple of games. So, yeah, that is unfortunate. They're still suggesting he play. Despite that, uh, I guess we'll let him play. The only other power forward off the bench is Calhoun. He's only a one-star player who just had a good game though in the previous game, but uh, leave things as they are. And we'll get to the next game. Man, Michigan is still undefeated, 24-0. Tennessee's starting to drop off a little bit. We can see they have 5 losses now in conference play. Arkansas and Florida have been the two teams that have really emerged from the SEC. And we have a win over Arkansas, so that is awesome. One of those 2 losses was handed to them from us. So the more they win, the better that is for us. We do not have a victory over Florida, unfortunately. And no games on this day, so we'll keep moving ahead. Kansas State with the 1 loss only so far. We play Auburn next. Is this the last game of the video? I think we said it would be. So we'll play this game and get to the next and see where we are. Let's check out Auburn and see what we can do on the defensive side of things. They're pretty mediocre from the free throw line, kind of right in the middle. So we'll probably keep things as they are. Yeah, I think we'll keep things as they are. It worked out for us last time. But it is an away game. Looks like. Um, looks like Blair's injury has been healed. which is a good thing. Okay, let's go ahead and play and see how things work out here. Tennessee beats Florida. We beat Auburn. Okay, those are actually two good things for us because we've beaten Tennessee. So that makes the Tennessee win look better for us. Beating Auburn on the road is a pretty good win. And we'll improve to 15-9, which is, I mean, it's decent. 7-6 in the SEC is decent. I'll check and see the box score really quick. Dion Allen with 17, Blair with 10, Watson with 16. You don't see Watson score that many very often. But yeah, had a couple of guys step up. Brooks didn't have his greatest game, so we had a couple of other guys step up. Watson and Allen and Blair. Which Blair's been playing pretty good. Allen was player of the game, but we're kind of still shooting poorly from the line. We shot well from the field despite shooting poorly from three. The mid-range and the inside game must be pretty good. We're still turning the ball over more times than I care to see. But we're winning the rebounding battles. So overall, a decent win. Let's get to that Georgia game and then we can go ahead and call it a day. And then we'll round out the SEC play in the next video. Wichita State playing well. They haven't had a good season in real life in a while. I remember 2014, I think it was. They were one of the top seeds in the NCAA tournament. Kentucky beats them on a Aaron Harrison buzzer beater. And I don't think they've really had a great season since, not that I can remember anyway. We're still kind of middle of the pack, despite winning the last couple games. Still not entirely sure we're in the tournament yet. Actually, if you look at the side over here, Auburn is the worst team in the SEC. So actually, that win we just picked up might not be, you know, it's good that we won, but it might not be all that great of a win at the end of the day. Gonzaga picks up a win. Okay, here's the Georgia game we talked about at the beginning of the video. Uh, so this is where we'll stop game-wise. We have no injuries, so no reason to go into that screen. We will see and check on to see what Georgia can do in terms of getting to the line and hitting shots. They're also kind of mediocre. So we'll leave things exactly as they are and jump into the game next time and just play things exactly as they are. Before we leave, though, we will look at the tourney watch screen one more time to see. Oh, this is for Georgia. This is not for us. Let's get back to our screen. Okay, that's more like it. Here's our screen. So we have 2 quad 1 wins, 2 quad 2 wins, 4 quad 3 wins, and a bunch of quad 4 wins. So we have 2 really good wins, 2 pretty decent wins, 1 really bad loss, and 1 kind of bad loss. So overall, we're 75 in the net. You still want to be higher than that, obviously, or honestly. You still want to be higher than that. If you want an at-large bid, you want to get somewhere in that probably that top 50 net. So we still have some work to do. Let's look at the bubble watch screen. We can now access that because it is February, and we can see teams who are out. We are definitely on that list of teams who are out at this moment. But probably an NIT team, which, I mean, if you're Kentucky, you don't want to be in the NIT. You live to be in the NCAA tournament. So this is how things are at the moment, unfortunately. But we're still have some. We still have time to improve, and hopefully we do. And we can see Michigan is still undefeated, and they're still number 2 in the AP poll, despite being not the AP poll, but AP poll. Despite being undefeated, they're still number 2 for some reason. But yeah, that's is what it is. So I guess if you want to look at the stats real quick, we can. We only have 2 players in double figures in terms of scoring. Brooks averaging 17.6 a game. Dion Allen averaging 12.7 per game. But those are the player stats. And that's how we're going to end the video. So keep an eye out for Saturday or Sunday. I'll try to have at least one video up on this and one video up on the pro basketball side of things by the end of this upcoming weekend. It's my goal is to have at least one video for each during the weekend. Maybe 2, depends on what happens, but kind of doubting 2. We'll say 1 on each. And with that being said, we'll see you next time.